Sports. It's in the game.
I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame that on Gino. Smells like the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by themselves.
That's why I treat my men good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just enough.
I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.
My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way, cause my bro's on the way. I got stones on my gold, I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
With this round here, I make a joke, everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get the off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong.
Here's a list of all the players that will appear in the upcoming draft. Select a player to learn more.
I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when the breath on the set. Let me speak on behalf
Select to scout this player and unlock his best. Each skill unlock will cost you scouting points. Unlock this player's true skill ranking to see if he is. You just found a diamond in the rough. Other teams will undervalue this player, and you may get the next top. Players have contracts that are about to expire. Re-sign them so you don't lose them to free agency.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boys in a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boys in a Shawshank. I don't wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait, I can power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending yell nets. Every flow is unmatched and I better get set in. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum all. In the end result, I'm better killing them all. Rogue one, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars in a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars in a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now. With state prop, you looking bleak now. I was home to sleep designing sheets now. 30 different missions. When I speak, they listen. Couldn't find the social fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true, cause you look like the opposition. Run it up. Greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars in a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars in a Shawshank.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. 38-year-old Eli Manning heading out to lead the Giants. Look at the numbers, show how good Eli has been over the years. 7th all-time in passing yards, 8th in touchdowns, 7 4,000-yard seasons, including last year. And he's looking to make one last run before the sun sets on his Hall of Fame career. The numbers for him from a week ago: 15 carries, 60 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now they'll throw it with Manning. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Manning going to hand it off to Barkley. Levante David, the Bucs' leading tackler, 6 of the last 7 years in there to make the stop. A look at the Buccaneers starters now on defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We've got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
Now Manning. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it.
Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
That gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Alec Ogletree in on the stop. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with them on that play, was there? Able to make a nice stop, held them to no gain. The key to their defense, though, is exactly what the defensive coordinator told you and I. They've got to be consistent.
Complete. He finds Braid. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Matt Gay on for the extra point.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Manning will try again on second down. To Shepard, complete over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run forward with Barkley. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants have taken the lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 26. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Peyton Barber, a surprise workhorse for the Buccaneers in 2018. I don't think they expected him to have 234 carries, but he certainly felt like he could carry the load and just carried it there for a nice gain.
Flush to his right. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
That is caught. It's Perriman. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
One more time with Barber. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash in a bit of a tight angle. Gay's kick is good. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin out at State Farm Field. Carolina matching up with Arizona. And that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest, check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Andrew Luck, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. In our game, it's been the play of Eli Manning that's been the story so far. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert on their own side of the field. Close to the 50, but their own side of the field. They only needed a couple of inches, and they were able to get it done.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a zone blocking team, a man blocking team, gap blocking, whatever you want to call it. When it's in this situation, it's really man on man, isn't it? Who's going to win the battle? And right there, we saw it at the point of attack, find enough yardage to pick up a first down. Give him credit for that one.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as a...
It's a foot race. The 40, 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Giants add on to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. 16 yards, a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs.
These type of plays are backbreakers for our defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up first and goal inside the 10.
To throw is Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into your broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, that's still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Now that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They convert on third with a gain of 22. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now. Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
It used to be that if you were a big wide receiver and the coaches wanted to make you a tight end, you resisted the move. Now it's almost a glamour position because they have the mismatch advantage. Are you going to cover them with a linebacker? They're probably faster. A defensive back? They're going to be bigger. Tight end is the new big-time position.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. A pass there over the middle to start things out. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Jameis to throw it. And Boyd has it over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Throwing, Winston. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Winston. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Caught right side, Tate. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A first down carry for Barkley. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Giants on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. He's got his man. This is Tate. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. So now Winston and the Bucs down by 5. A little under 40 seconds to go. Their perfect start to the season in jeopardy unless they can score here as they've got it. And got his man complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th. Wow. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then follow it.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a a huge play at this point in the game. So they're unable to stretch it to a 3-point lead. Now you got to be careful on the kickoff because a field goal obviously beats you.
Definitely, and that's why they went for two. They wanted to make sure a field goal wouldn't beat them. Now they're in a position where they've got to cover well and make sure they don't get into range and put one through the posts.
We got this.
And New York set to take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. To throw is Manning. He completes it to Tate. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. There he goes, right side. And this defense has broken it open as they return to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is up to 8. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. So some drama down to the very end of this ball game, Charles, on that final kickoff. They were hoping to break free, some sort of miracle play, but they couldn't do it.
They had a chance, and that was their only opportunity to try and bring it all the way back. As you noted, they weren't able to get that done, but at least they had the shot. What a tremendous game to be this close and this well contested.
So for the Buccaneers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams.